tremendous amount of money for the future. This is going into the future.
They said Donald Trump would run America like a business, efficient, methodical, and profit-driven. Well, they were right, but not in ways they expected. President Trump has turned the US into a subscription service, like a Netflix or a Spotify. And the fee? A cool $1 million per person. Let me explain. Yesterday, Trump unveiled a new visa program. Forget complicated names like H-1B or L-1 or B-2. This one is called the Trump Gold Card. The Trump Gold Card. And here's what it looks like. The card has a picture of Donald Trump, a picture of the Statue of Liberty, and a picture of America's national bird, the bald eagle. It's obviously gold in color. It also features the signature of Donald Trump. Frankly, this does not look like a US visa. It looks like a club membership card at Mar-a-Lago. On second thoughts, I guess it's perfect. Trump touted this card as a big victory for immigration. He says it will retain foreign talent in the US, including from India and China.
Gift of getting somebody great coming into our country, because we think these will be some tremendous people that wouldn't be allowed to stay. You know, they graduate from college, they have to go back to India, they have to go back to China, they have to go back to France, they have to go back to wherever they came from. Very hard to stay. It's a shame. It's ridiculous things. We're taking care of that. The companies are going to be very happy. And the other thing is it'll take in, we think, probably billions of dollars that will go to the Treasury of the United States, that will go to an account where we can do things positive for the country. So it'll be a great thing. We'll take in, I think, billions of dollars.
So what is this golden card? Simply put, it's a permanent work visa. Trump has not created a new visa class. He has simply created a new pathway. If you get a gold card, you are actually getting an EB-1 or EB-2 visa. Both are special work visas. They're reserved for highly skilled people. But in this case, you can buy them. You must pay $15,000 as application fee, and after that, US officials will vet you. And then you must pay $1 million. Only then will you get a Trump Gold Card. And this one is for individuals. Companies can also sponsor gold cards for their workers, but that will cost $2 million. In addition, a platinum card is also coming out. That will cost you $5 million. And what's the difference? Well, a gold card holder will still have to pay taxes, but a platinum card holder, you can stay for 270 days without paying taxes. And this is not some radical new idea. Countries like the UAE already have golden visas. Say you buy some property in the UAE, or you invest in a fund, or you're a highly skilled worker, then the UAE will grant you a long-term golden visa. But there's a difference. In America, the eligibility is confusing. Look at what the website says. A $1 million gift upon completion of the individual's vetting is evidence that the individual will substantially benefit the United States. Now, what does a gift mean? Nobody knows at this point. But this gold card reveals Trump's preference. Donald Trump wants affluent migrants only. People who would pay $1 million for a visa. That's around 9 crore Indian rupees, $1 million, 9 crore Indian rupees. It will be interesting to see who applies. For example, can Russian oligarchs get a gold card? Or African arms dealers, can they get one? That's the question to watch out for. But equally interesting is who Trump is keeping out. Now, he is planning a new visa requirement for 42 countries. These are countries that have visa-free access to the US. If you're a citizen of one of these 42 countries, you don't need a visa to visit the US. You only need a travel authorization, which means you give them some basic information. Your request is electronically screened and approved. No interviews, no endless waiting. This applies to 42 countries, but Trump is adding a new hurdle for them. He wants travelers to submit 5 years of social media history. The White House has not said why, but the reason appears clear. to screen the applicants for their political views. Are they Trump critics or fans or indifferent? And we've already seen this play out. In October, the US cancelled visas of at least 6 people. Do you know the reason? Because they criticized Trump supporter Charlie Kirk, so their visa was cancelled. Even a Nobel-winning writer had his visa revoked. He compared Donald Trump to Ugandan dictator Idi Amin, and on cue his visa was revoked. Now, if you add all of this up, a clear picture emerges, a picture of who Trump wants in the United States. They must be rich and they must like his policies. If they are not rich, they must fit Trump's profile. For example, white South Africans are welcomed in the US, but Afghans or Somalis are not welcome. So obviously, there is a race angle too. Now imagine if some other countries pull this off. They screen your social media for your visa application, they revoke your visa because you criticize the ruling ideology, and they filter refugees based on skin color. What do you think would happen? Global outrage, a dozen statements from the European Union, some condemnation from the United Nations chief, and of course a relentless campaign by human rights groups. That is what would happen. But in this case, it's just Trump being Trump. Morals aside, this reveals a new driver of US policy. It is not strategy, it is not politics, it is culture wars. That's why Trump thinks that Europe is decaying. That's why he's attacking South Africa. It's about imposing his domestic political goals on the world. It's a dangerous and slippery slope.
I was born into revolution. I inherited power like a crown. What I delivered was isolation. I built a personality cult that touched every home. Millions suffered hunger under my rule, but no one dared to speak. I ruled from palaces. My people queued for rice. I called myself the dear leader. History calls me something else, the dictator. Who am I?